یکی دیگر از شگفتی‌های زمین تمدن آتلانتیس است که تاکنون معمایی حل نشده باقی مانده که نظریات متعددی از نویسندگان باستان تا دوره معاصر درباره آن ارائه شده است، اما هیچگاه تا به امروز مکان دقیق آن مشخص نشده است. تمدنی که اگر اثری از آن یافت شود شاید برای بسیاری از سوالها درباره تاریخ زمین پاسخی پیدا شود. براد استایگر، نویسنده کتاب آتلانتیس، معتقد است که تمدن‌های موجود بر زمین چرخشی بوده است و پیش از دوران ما انسان‌های کاملاً پیشرفته در علم و فرهنگ وجود داشتند. در سال 1956 فردی به نام دکتر رنمالاس از موزه ریکس در سوئد شواهد تازه‌ای را مبنی بر اینکه ممکن است آتلانتیس در اقیانوس اطلس وجود داشته باشد ارائه داد. بر اساس نظریه دکتر مالاس در قسمت میانی اقیانوس اطلس زمانی یک رشته کوه‌هایی وجود داشته است که 10 تا 12 هزار سال قبل به اقیانوس فرو رفته است که سلسله کوه‌های فوق مانند سدی در برابر گلف استریم قرار داشته و اقیانوس منجمد شمالی از اروپا تا منطقه گرینلند را جدا ساخته است. زمانی که این کوه‌ها فرو نشست، گلف استریم با اقیانوس منجمد شمالی متصل شد و عصر یخبندان پایان یافت که این تغییر به علت فرو نشستن آتلانتیس ایجاد شده است. در سال 1963 پروفسور گئورگ لیندبرگ از بخش جانورشناسی آکادمی اتحاد جماهیر شوروی اعلام کرد یافته‌های جدید این فرضیه را که قاره‌ای در شمال اقیانوس اطلس وجود داشته و در حال حاضر در عمق 5000 متری آب دریا فرو رفته است اثبات می‌کنند. نویسندگان قدیمی از جمله افلاطون و پلینی از آنها یاد کرده بودند. افلاطون نوشته است که آتلانتیس مهد تمدنی پیشرفته نه تنها در زمینه تکنولوژی بلکه در زمینه علوم و هنر نیز بوده است. او میگوید مردم آتلانتیس دارای قد بلند، پوست سفید، موهای درخشان و مردمی بسیار مهربان بودند و هیچ چیز برای آنها با ارزش‌تر از اخلاقیات نبوده و اقتصاد آنها دارای پول نبوده و 1,000,000 ارتش و کشتزارهای فراوان بودند. افلاطون در رساله کورتیاس نوشته است که آتلانتیس دارای جمعیت 20 میلیون نفری بوده است و دارای مساحت 154,000 مایلی بوده است. همچنین افلاطون نوشته است که در قاره آتلانتیس قاره‌ها با شکل هندسی زیبایی ساخته شده بودند و نهرهای آب مانند رگ‌های بدن در همه جا جاری بودند. همچنین افلاطون علت نابودی این قاره را چنین بیان کرده است که وقتی زیاده طلبی مردم آتلانتیس زیاد شد و قصد حمله به آتن را داشتند، زئوس طوفانی را بر آنها نازل کرد. سپس به کمک 3 نیروی طوفان، آتشفشان و زلزله آنجا را از بین برد. پاول تویچل، نویسنده کتاب اکویدیا، می نویسد در دوران باستان در حدود 20,000 سال قبل در وسط اقیانوس اطلس شمالی سرزمینی وجود داشته. آن سرزمین به بزرگی مجموعه انگلیس، فرانسه و اسپانیای فعلی بوده و شکلی شبیه به قاره استرالیا داشته است. به عقیده مغول‌ها در زمان قدیم 2 قاره در اقیانوس اطلس وجود داشته که هر دو در آب فرو رفتند، ولی بعضی از ساکنان آنها توانستند در پناهگاه‌های زیرزمینی به زندگی خود ادامه دهند. این غارها با نور عجیبی روشن می‌شد که گیاهان در پرتو آن رشد می‌کردند. تونل‌های زیرزمینی بلند و متعددی در سینچوان چین کشف شده که این تعبیر مغولی‌ها را تایید می‌کند. اوتو هاینریش موک، مهندس اتریشی که علاقه وافری به تاریخ و جغرافیا داشت، کتابی تحت عنوان راز آتلانتیس نوشت که شهرتی جهانی یافت و بار دیگر آتلانتیس را سر زبان‌ها انداخت. به اعتقاد وی جزیره آتلانتیس وجود داشته و دستخوش بلای سهمگین طبیعی شده، اما تمام آتلانت ها از بین نرفتند و بازماندگان آن فاجعه توانستند خود را به سواحل اقیانوس اطلس شامل آمریکای جنوبی، آمریکای شمالی، آفریقا و اروپا برسانند. آنها به هر سرزمینی که می‌رسیدند دانش خود را در زمینه شهرسازی و معماری به کار می‌گرفتند تا بناهای عظیم، معابد باشکوه و قصرهای بزرگ مانند آنچه در آتلانتیس وجود داشت بسازند. بر اساس فرضیه‌های موک، بناهایی مانند اهرام مصر، معابد مایا و ازتک و بسیاری از تمدن‌های دوره باستان همگی زایده یک تمدن مادر به نام آتلانتیس هستند. با توجه به تکنولوژی و تمدن آتلانتیس شاید این تمدن ارتباطی با آنوناکی ها داشتند. نظر خانم دولورس کانن درباره آتلانتیس.
They had evolved to the point where they were using total mind control, and they abused it. Being humans, they got bored and they tried to use it for the wrong things, and this is one of the reasons why Atlantis went down. They began using mind power in the wrong way. So after that, it was more or less like short-circuited. You will not use this again until you are ready for it. And some of the remnants of Atlantis were the ones that built the pyramids and used the levitation to raise these huge blocks. But we have not been able to redo until now, and now we are getting into the area again. We will be doing this totally. And I was told those who have negative karma to replace will not be sent here anymore. The planet is evolving. They have something negative to repay. They're going to be sent somewhere else where there's still going to be negativity and violence. So we are really going to go into a new age, a new world. It'll be quite wonderful.
Atlantis went down. A lot of them, some of them went to Egypt and were survivors and to other places. But some of them went underground, and there's an entire cities all throughout. There's all kinds of tunnels and transportation systems that link them all together. Some of the trains and things down there can go 3,000 miles an hour to link the cities together. There's like a sun inside the earth that lights everything. So they have light, they have lakes, they have water, they have everything they need. And there's animals down there that do not exist on the surface of the earth. They have live computers, if you want to say that. This is in my second volume of the Convoluted Universe. It talks about the underground cities. They have computers that we can't even approach that can create and do anything they want. And the people are so advanced, they have no desire to come to the surface. They have everything they need down there. They've been down there for thousands and thousands of years. Nature. They were also trying to use the powers of the crystals to do negative things. They were creating too much power and directing them down into the center of the earth. And they were doing all kinds of things just to see if they could do it. And they were using the crystal powers in a negative way. This is why Atlantis had to go down, because they were doing things they were not supposed to. So it came to the point it had to be destroyed. Now, when I've been doing this, I like to ask questions about everything. And one of the interesting things is the Bermuda Triangle, when people ask me about that. I was told that when Atlantis went down, in the Bermuda area, there was a temple that had something you would call like a time machine, be able to go back and forth different dimensions. And it was located in that area. Well, when it went down, the machine was damaged. And so it's sitting there sporadically shooting out waves of energy, which is what caused these different phenomena you hear about in the Bermuda Triangle. That's why you can't predict it, you don't know when it's going to happen, and you can't control it. But it makes sense to me that it is these ancient machines that are still operating in a sporadic way. Atlantis, a lot of it had to do with the crystals too. They were using too much crystal power. They ended up making holes in the ozone layer that let the sun come through and was burning part. This is how some of the deserts were formed in the world. They were also creating too much power that the earth couldn't handle it. So they said this had to be stopped. It had gone too far. This is the explanation for the Bermuda Triangle. That was part of the original Atlantis. And if you can picture this, on that point there was a temple. And they did time travel and time experimentation, going back and forth. And there was a temple that used crystals that they could open and close portals so they could travel through time. But when the Atlantis went down, that temple was destroyed, and the machines there were partially destroyed. So they're still firing in an erratic fashion. This is why if a ships or planes happen to be in the area and it would just shoot upward through the water, it causes them to be zapped into another portal, into different time. Now, does that make sense?
به گفته برخی محققان افرادی که دارای گروه خونی O هستند از نسل آتلانت ها اند.
O blood type? In my work, I've learned that in general, people with the O blood type have a connection to many things. If you think about the O, blood, as a sign, it's a circle. And people with the O blood type are generally carrying information in their DNA of Atlantis, Lemuria, and Egypt. Many of the Native Americans even have the O blood type, and many have information from Lemuria, Atlantis, and even Egypt in their soul DNA. Of course, this is very general, but when I was working on my book, A Hypnotist's Journey to Atlantis, it was uncovered that the O blood type came from the founder of Atlantis, who originated from the Pleiades. It's amazing what kind of signs and clues we have for ourselves, because this is a journey of remembering who we really are. So keep exploring.
1,000 years ago, there was a continent that we've all talked about, but nobody really believes it. Plato described it, nobody really believes it. And it was called Atlantis, and it was really there. And something happened on Atlantis. Actually, it began about 16,000 years ago and there was something that occurred on Atlantis that the effects of that we are still feeling today. And the problems that we have and everything else were a direct result of what happened at that time. And there was a particular section of Atlantis that were very different than the rest of the people there. And they initiated an experiment based upon what is called the Merkaba. And they set up an external Merkaba that went out of control and began to rip the dimensional levels apart. And that Merkaba is still rotating in the Atlantic, which many people consider or call the Bermuda Triangle. It's based on tetrahedral fields, and it's a triangular field that comes out of there. But what happened in that experiment almost caused the Earth to die, meaning not to be able to be used as a star seed, as a base to grow cultures that go on to other levels of consciousness.
برخی نیز بر این باورند شهر گمشده آتلانتیس محل زندگی پریان دریایی است. نظر شما در این باره چیست؟ امیدوارم که از دیدن این ویدیو لذت برده باشید. سپاس از همراهی شما.